Here we go. Welcome to Phil and Vin's podcast number 11. And we're excited to be here. I'm excited. I'm thrilled that you're joining with us, Jets 55, again with Phil from Cali, Vinny out here in beautiful New Jersey. And we've always said that this podcast is about two passionate fans who now, above 55 years, have been rooting for the Jets and the Mets. And it's not to rip people apart, and it's not to bash the players. And we were trying to be really cool about things, but I am done. Right off the bat, Woody Johnson needs to go away.
There you go.
I'll tell you why I'm
There you go.
angry now.
So wait, right there. That's the title of today's
There we go.
podcast. Woody, go away.
Woody, go away. Jets fans have to join in on this. This is I spelt the word because I don't want to say the word sounds like president. This is a president that I want to bring out. My suggestion, Phil and I were thinking about it. It's never been done before with all the four major sports. When fans get angry and teams are terrible, sell the team. I don't want them to sell the team. What I want is one of the owners, Woody Johnson, to go away. Go in a corner, get some crayons, get a coloring book, go away. Because he has no ability, no idea what it is to own a football team. He has no capacity of dealing with it, handling it. You listen to the guy, oh, I like things done quickly. What does that mean? He was born a billionaire. What has he, Phil, tell me, what has he accomplished? He was born a billionaire. He's accomplished nothing. He's a terrible communicator. He has a suit, a beautiful suit. He wears that Jets cap. Okay. Yeah. And it was a little blurb in the news, and got me so upset when he came back from England with that BS stuff that Trump sent him, which was just a bunch of garbage. Just like sending a kid like just with a piece of candy, here, go to the UK or whatever, go to England. All right, whatever that was. Okay. I wanted him to stay there, and he was buying a soccer team. But you know what? People in England seem to be smarter than us right now because he offered a ton of money to buy the soccer team, and they said no.
No thanks. Yeah.
And he came back, and I didn't want him to come back because the other owner, Chris Johnson, who was like Woody, started learning, started figuring out, started saying, we don't need some company to research and tell us what we need. What he did was he did a crazy thing at the craziest time, got rid of a really bad general manager, and he brought in a great general manager who brought us in a great coach, which brought us in other great coaches and other great scouts. And that was all Chris Johnson. And I got to tell you, Phil, what did it for me, I was reading the last article the other day, and they're talking about Rodgers and all this BS and everything going on and what they're doing and the plan. And Woody Johnson on the ball to say, we have a plan. No one. Don't say you have a plan. No. You're not part of that. He needs to go away. Some country needs to let him buy a team and play his little pretend games out there like he's something or knows something, but he needs to go away.
Woody, go away, man.
Woody, okay. Go away.
Okay, we're gonna go on with this for a little bit because you know what? We have the right. You're dead on.
No, I'm done. We try to be. Just show the passion as older guys and have some fun with this. But Jets fans has to wake up and realize, and let me say this. I'll let my buddy talk.
No, we're going to go keep going. This is beautiful.
Right, here's the thing. I know I'm just not shunning. Here's the thing.
No, that's good. I'm happy.
I know something about Woody that I'm 100% sure. I'm 100% sure he's a lousy effing poker player. He's a terrible poker player. You were barking at me first about this, that you don't put your cards on the table. He hasn't said a lot, but what he says is ridiculous. He
goes, we need a real quarterback. So what does Woody say? Sure, we're going to pay for one. What a card player, huh?
Oh, you
go away. Get out.
Woody, go away. Because like you said,
we'll give you as much money as you want. We'll give you as many draft picks as you need. We're going to pay. We got the money. I got the money. Go away. Hey, look.
Right.
Then we're going to keep going. And I mean, look, he's completely out of step with the fan base. I mean, think about it for a minute. I mean, Fireman Ed, right, is a character, right? But he represents that old school hardworking people. I mean, come on, he's a fireman, right? Woody is entitled. Woody is today and always has lived like a king. Go away. Go away. Go sit in your palace somewhere and leave us alone. Listen, 2 days ago, what's his name? It came out that maybe the Niners might be involved with Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if it's smokescreen or not, but Carton was the guy who broke it. And I was listening to
It's
that.
just
Like, I'm not going to freak out because I
Yes.
don't know if it's what the motivation is, Boomer and Carton, if you remember from 100 years ago. So I went through the archives and I found when he freaked out with Boomer about the Jets, and he says it's 6 years today when they lost to the Steelers. So that's how long ago that was, right? So that's 2017, right? So he goes on and he's going, and he says, everything that we're saying right now, it is exactly the same. And you know what he ends up with? He says, and my kids, I tell them, I said, look, imagine what it's going to feel like one day. And he goes, because they're Jet fans, and he goes, imagine what it's going to feel like when one day, like the Patriots right now, they win and they're going to go to the Super Bowl. And his kids looked at him and he says, Dad, I hate you because you're a Jet fan, So that told me that this guy, he's a Jet fan. And this is 6, 7 years, whatever it is. We know for 55 years, it's the same story, whether it's Leon Hess or this idiot.
It reeked, it reeked for those younger Jet fans. Leon Hess, at one point, old owner, born. Well, I don't know if he was, he made his niche and everything.
He's an oil man, he made some money.
Okay. Yeah. But the guy, when they were losing, he got angry. I want to win now. And he hired the worst coach in the world. That's what this thing, Woody, that's what it reeked of. Oh, we're going to pay.
Like, he says, I want to win now.
Internally, do what you have to do. So if some reporter says, are you ready to pay for a big time quarterback? You say, listen, that could be a possibility. It's something we're going to think of. We're going to have to, check everything, we're going to upturn every other rock, look under everything we have to check, do whatever we have to do, cross our T's, dot our I's. It's a possibility, but we can look at this, we can look at that. And he just right off the bat. What would Robert
Kraft say? He would say, well, no, we'll see what Bill wants to do. We'll talk.
Yeah, we'll see.
Don't say anything. Give me a break. Right. Look at it this way, man. I'm going to get personal. Look at all of the self-made owners in the NFL, entrepreneurial guys, right? Arthur Blank, Home Depot, right? Snyder, communications giant, right? Then you got Jerry Jones. I don't care about if they're likable or not, but oil and gas. These guys are all self-made guys. Biscotti with the Ravens. Staffing, Aerotech or whatever. The guy's a big staffer around it. And then you even Robert Kraft with the paper products, right? All of these people have one thing in common, and they can be called one word, creator. You know what Woody can be called? Inheritor. That's all he is. He's an inheritor. He has done nothing. He is just a guy who has inherited his space. Go away. I'm sick of it. Gone. Nuts. Baloney.
That great research, great getting the facts. But here's one thing. His brother, they're parallel, entitled, and everything. But let's be realistic. When Woody went to England, wish he would have been there till the rest of his life. When Woody went to England, let's be reality. Chris got all this stuff done. Chris grew as an owner. He grew about his knowledge of football. He grew about his knowledge of
his team loved him too.
And he was out there talking to the players, really not just because he had to. It was very passionate. It was very real. Okay. And then he's the one. Yeah, he got rid of that the previous GM. It was a crazy time, but he had the guts to do it. Right? What is it? Right after the draft, he got rid of the GM because he realized how incompetent he was. And then he brings in Douglas. All the good things that happened to the Jets. Yeah, the numbers, the wins, and all the good things that happened because of Chris Johnson.
Chris Johnson hired these two guys, right? Saleh and JD. While Woody, like you just said, he was the UK ambassador. Really? Anybody can do that job. I mean, the UK, they're our closest ally. They're our brother, right? Remember this. Not Woody, Chris. but not Woody. He is not the guy who brought us JD and Salah. He's the guy who brought us Idzik. Remember that. Go away. That's who he goes and gets. John Idzik, right? So his fingerprints are back. He's destroying this now, and he's making this whole Aaron Rodgers thing become more involved and ridiculous than it should be. And his fingerprints are all over it. And the guy is just a disaster. And I'm telling you, the reason I brought up those NFL guys is because his brother is comfortable, it seems to me, in his own skin. But Woody is a failure because I think he's supposed to have done more. He did nothing. He's a zero. He's a fundraiser for politics. That's all he is. And then he kisses their butts and they give him a cushy job. He is so out of step with what, like I said, the hardworking Jet fan base is all about. He's so out of step with it. And he's just a lucky guy that had a lot of money at the right time and bought them for a song compared to what they're worth now. And it's disgusting because, yeah, he's.
And listen, ambassador
Come on.
for
To the
US,
UK. Yeah.
to the UK, ambassador to the UK. That's like hiring someone to talk to me and you so we could be better friends.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
thank you. Right.
What do you? What do you?
Insanity. Right. Exactly.
But you know what? It was the greatest thing. It was the greatest thing that he went away.
Exactly.
So it was, and like I said, when it was, people weren't reading about it, but when he didn't get the team in the UK, it was like a shot to the gut for me because I'm like, that waste of time is back. And he's just to muck up the work with his brother.
I always hated him too with the way he does business, right? From the very beginning, with the Parcells disaster and the Belichick disaster. But you were right, and I didn't. Chris did a really good job, and I wasn't sure if it was just because he wasn't there, but he did do a good job. And the thing that troubled me was when he came back, Johnson, instead of being co-chairman, he's still the chairman, and Chris is the vice chairman.
Yeah,
so he still has that pecking order where he needs to feel like he's important. Why? Because he's done nothing with his life. These other guys are successful and they're doing this. Like Robert Kraft, he's worth like $7 billion or whatever the hell it is, but he made a ton of his money in like paper goods. The smart guys, they come up with something that, Home Depot. I mean, Jesus, this guy has done nothing but inherit money.
And again, like I said,
fabulous.
He slowly.
Oh my God.
His his print on this slowly but surely, being repetitive. The bottom line, what Chris did that was smart is that he got JD and he let JD do his thing. He got a experienced, knowledgeable guy who, with the teams he was with, got results, got championships. So here, he nailed it. He got the right guy. And most importantly, he let that guy do his thing. And
they got the right coach, too, who's been around and has rings. He's won. It's like these guys have both done good things. So let them do their thing. Now this guy's back. Who knows what he's telling them?
Listen, we just started. This podcast hasn't been around a long time. We have some fans that listen to us. Thank you for doing that. Spread the word.
Go away.
This has to be done. Not sell the team. No. There's two owners, and we need one Woody to go away.
He's got to go away.
Let Chris
it's ridiculous.
Continue to develop and get better at his role and what he does. Okay? Because all of the good things that happened to the Jets with the people they got is all because of Chris
and JD.
Woody.
And JD right now, they are in this spot now where they either going to go up or they're going to go down and out. This is it. This is the moment now. There's no more build-up. There's no more anything. They have to get the Rodgers thing done. They have to go out and get another receiver, and then they have to have another good draft, and they have to go out and make the playoffs this year. I don't care what Woody says about there's no man. No one cares what he has to say about anything. Who cares?
We have a plan. We have a plan. Woody, you never had to write one idea your whole life to do anything or build on anything or accomplish anything. I'm sorry. I mean, we've been so nice with these podcasts and everything. I'm sorry. It's over. Okay, we have a plan. You should have go somewhere. Please go somewhere. I wish somebody from a country would call them and say, "Here, we have a team for you to buy here, wherever. Go
Listen,
somewhere. Just get away from the
he's a
Jets."
fan deep down in his heart. I know that, but
Yeah,
that's not
okay.
good enough. I'm a fan, and that's great. Sit next to me. We'll have a beer. Don't talk about your UK ambassadorship nonsense. Let's talk about the team. But you're a fan. You are not an owner. You're not a guy who should be telling anybody about anything. Not only not about football, but about business. He's not a businessman. He's nothing. So I'm sorry. He's a fundraiser. I mean, God bless him, but
Listen,
you know, I'm sorry. It's not nice, but go away.
And to continue on this, I want to talk a little bit about JD and Salah. And I am, at this very second, a huge JD and Salah fan. I'm on board. But I will tell you, I give them on 99% of what they're doing, I give them A pluses across the board. Not really, I know the win, but I get it. I give them A pluses across the board, right? But when it comes to one thing, I have to be frank with you, and I'm still wishing them the best. I want them to be here. I want it to be a long term. But when it comes to quarterbacks presently, they get an F minus. And I'll tell you why. I was being nice about it.
Terrible.
I think that little twerp, and I was trying to be nice, Zach Wilson will never be a good quarterback. Okay. He's not a really good person. He has to fake being nice. Okay. And I'm sorry, I know he's a young kid, and I wasn't going to beat this kid up. Listen, I said in that Pittsburgh game, the fourth quarter, 2 touchdown drives, last one to win the game. I said the kid arrived. Okay. Then the next game, he's in a shotgun, taking the ball and taking 3 steps back, like he never played football. He has no idea what's going on.
No, he doesn't.
And I am furious now, and I'm going to admit, Mike White was a polarizing person in that locker room. He was a polarizing person. Am I using the right word? He was a polarizing person.
Well, yeah, the
in
team,
locker room.
they
Last
loved
year,
him, so they got him out because they didn't want it to be,
I see it
attention.
already. Second game of the season, Tua gets another concussion. He's hurt. Here comes Mike White, and I have a bad feeling because they lied. See, the thing is, as much as they like J.D. Gonzalez, they lied. They lied because they said, as long as the quarterback's playing well, it doesn't matter when they're drafted. That was a lie. That was a bunch of BS. That Zach Wilson is still, and I know there's a lot of chunk of money they would have eaten, that he's still on that football team disgusts me.
Listen, Mike White's got to kill now. Forget it, man. If he goes in there, he's going to be good to go. He's going to be good. I'm telling you, it's stupid. It's a mistake.
And if you look at it, most of the guys on that team had enough of Zach Wilson. People were furious with him. It didn't help LaFleur. LaFleur didn't help. How that went down. Teammates did not like Zach Wilson. Not only did I like Mike White, but he was a polarizing figure. He was above just players liking a player. Because every time that guy was healthy and he wasn't getting destroyed, he had those ribs. He wanted to play. The league stopped him from playing for weeks. And I knew that was going to just mess everything up. Okay?
Yeah, he was a positive influence.
Wilson is on. I think what happened is with Salah and JD, they needed to throw the egg on their face, get rid of Zach Wilson, because not for nothing, Arizona, what did they do when they had Josh Rosen? And how quickly did they realize how bad that guy is? And there was no...
You got the wrong BS. Josh, guys.
There was no BS. Well, we're going to develop. Oh, he's not... There's that out. Gone. And they got a better quarterback, a much better quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay? A viable quarterback. So they should have put the egg in their face, take the hit with the money, figure out what they had to do. Zach Wilson should be gone. Mike White.
They went with the wrong horse. They went with the wrong horse there, Vin. You're right. They should have spent the time on White, and they did. See, that's what we were saying a few weeks ago, was while Wilson was coming in, Mike White was there. They were working with him. He was learning. He just didn't have the chance to play yet. So what happens now? He's gone. So he's got now some history.
And he's gone to a division rival, and he's young, and Tua is going to get hurt at some point. And they got those
He's got a 2-year deal.
ASS receivers. They got those real good receivers. They got a very good defense. And you know what? I hope I'm wrong, but I have this really bad feeling that
Yeah.
something like that
Well,
happened. But that's not the reason why.
they kept the polarizing guy. Zach Wilson's a horrible influence in there. He's terrible. He's a disgusting influence there. And you know what? Now he's going to be silenced. If Aaron Rodgers comes, this is like the best thing that could ever happen to this guy, because now he doesn't have to do a thing. There's no pressure unless he gets hurt. He just sits there and soaks it up and learns the right way. And maybe in a year or two, he'll be a credible a quarterback somewhere. Who knows? But you know, he blew his opportunity to come in and command this team. He's terrible. Now, Mike White, you had to make the decision, Wilson or White. You either get rid of Zach Wilson, sign Mike White for 2 years, and he's your backup to Aaron Rodgers. They decided not to do that.
But you know what? And what's amazing? It's been since last year. Excuses. Oh, there's a problem with the line. Oh, there's a problem with this. Oh, it's a new coordinator. He's hurt. Mike White comes in, lights it up. He gets hurt. Josh Johnson comes in, lights it up. Zach is back, played halfway decent. Okay, season 2. Oh, it's this, it's that, it's this. He's not really being very productive. You know what? Someone else comes in. Not that Flacco was much better. But, to me, the epitome of all of this was that Jacksonville game where they got almost no yardage, just he's doing terrible. And they finally put in, who was the third string? Estrevla? Is that it? Yeah, Estrevla,
Yeah.
right? In a little more than a quarter, he generated 145 yards. They couldn't finish the deal. Some bad play calling, I thought. But at the end, all of a sudden, because my friend is like, one of my buddies just texted me, well, it's the line, the offensive line. Oh, poor Zach. And the second another guy comes in, he generated, I think, the whole game, 60 yards.
No.
And then in a little more than a quarter, this other guy generated between passing and running 145 yards.
No, it's ridiculous. And he was not ready for prime time. And not ready for prime time, not only on the field, on the gridiron, but in front of the media. He's a disaster. And I don't even want to, let's not even talk about him. He's there, but they need to, that's why we said it the last time, the longer this drags on, the longer he's not in that locker room erasing this negative vibe, the longer this stink, this ugly smelling onion continues to go through there. And you're going to get guys like Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, all these positive minded guys. You're going to have Quentin Williams next. You got to sign him, get it done. All of a sudden, if they wait, and if he gets stolen and goes to San Francisco because Aaron Rodgers said, well, the Jets dragged their feet. I wanted to get it done. But, San Francisco's that could happen. And it's like, why? Because now it's almost like you're playing chicken. Let's go, JD. Do it. If you're going to get screwed a little bit, it's because of your owner. Let's get back to that. Your owner opened his mouth.
I think
and he cost them why it hasn't happened. So Woody, go away. Let's get back. Woody, go away.
I will tell you. And the thing is, he put JD with his comments in a corner.
Of course, that's what I'm saying. Forget it.
All options, Carr, Garoppolo. He put JD in the corner because, like I said, just those few comments he made, and everything was on the table. Just, oh, yeah, we want that, that big time. We want that big time superstar. No, shut up, man.
Right. Just
be quiet.
It's almost like, remember The Odd Couple? Felix, what are your cards? Let's look at each other's cards. Remember that episode? It's like, that's ridiculous, isn't it? Right?
Isn't it?
Let me just tell you what I want, guys, and I'll give you as much money as you need and as many picks as you need. It's all good. We just want to get them in here, whatever you guys want. It's like, what the heck is that? Just shut up, You have a GM for that. No,
overall, I'm really disappointed.
But as a businessman, he doesn't know that. He's not a businessman.
Right. But I'm very, very disappointed in JD and Saleh that they were so quick to let Mike White go to a division. Listen, do they know more than me? Maybe. Yeah, obviously they do. They're in the locker room.
Hey, wait, time out. Whoa. they may know more than you and me. They haven't been with this team longer than you and me. So too
Right.
bad you don't have the right to tell us we don't know what we're talking about, because we do know what we're talking about. And we know what it feels like, because this moment has happened 100 times with this team. Is it Matt Robinson or Richard Todd? What's it going to be? Who's going to be the guy? Who's hurt? Who's this? Joe Klecko and Gastineau with this
Pat,
stupid
Pat
things.
Ryan, Pat
Pat
Ryan.
Ryan. We know, we've been there. The fake spike. My God, we're going to talk about that forever. We know what
And they
it's
get
like.
they get rid and they get a coach who took them to the championship game, was in the mud bowl because Miami didn't cover the field, and there was words that he might drink a lot, Walt Michaels, and they fire him. Who fires a coach that gets you to the championship? There are
And
decades.
he was part of the winning team in '69. He was a coach, for God's
You know what
sake.
I think when it all ended? After the next year, after they won the Super Bowl, the Jets were in the playoffs. I should know what team. They were in the playoffs. First down at the 1 yard line. First down at the 1 yard line.
Is this the
And
Buffalo game?
no, this is like 1970, the year after the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they're playing Kansas City, but first and goal at the 1 yard line. I got Matt Snell, but during the preseason, a couple of linemen who were on the Super Bowl winning team wanted a little bit more money. Weeb Eubank didn't want to give them any more money.
Right.
That didn't remember the coach involved. Weeb Eubank didn't want to give them any more money. They got rid of the two guys on our offensive line, who was Snell and Boozer, who was leading him to that Super Bowl. And I think everything changed for the Jets. 4th and 1, first down and 1. They never got that. They lost a playoff game. End of story.
Yeah, they would have won. They would have won that year too.
Could have had 2 in a row. We've seen so much, and
no, they don't know more than us, Vinny. They know what's behind the scenes. That's all they know. They know what they've said to each other with the other owners and the other GMs, and they know what they sat down at that house with Aaron Rodgers and talked about. They know that. But you know who also knows that? Chris. Chris was there. No one talked about that. You saw all these pictures of guys coming out of the house. There was one picture, him by himself coming out. So the only reason this doesn't fall apart is if he gets involved now. I'm not making this guy out to be some hero, but all we know is.
But you go by results, though. You go by the results.
Right.
And because of Chris, we know what we got. We know what developed because of Chris. And I got to tell you something. I had a look before we got the podcast. I was waiting for you. I'm like, oh, man, I'm up here a little bit early. I went on, I typed in, who owns the New York Jets? Because I wasn't, listen, okay, well, Vinny, a passionate fan, 56 years almost now, but I wanted to see how it said it. It said Woody Johnson and Chris Johnson. Because I didn't know if it was going to say like Woody Johnson and Chris Johnson gave another title. So they're both owners.
Right, but he's the vice chairman.
At the helm. Yeah, I thought maybe I was going to see some crap like that, excuse me. And obviously Woody's at the helm. But again, Jets fans have to start being vocal. Even the Cartman show, whatever, whoever can grab this to get a hold of it, has to be a president, not asking him to sell the team, telling him to one of the owners, just go away, man. Like you said, go away.
Yeah, I mean, it's enough already. Go away.
Too much. We've been through too much.
No,
those words that Woody are saying, and that you're right about us, we're reliving, guys, young Jets fans, Jets fans that are 30 or 40 years old, trust us. The words that Woody are saying or is saying, we've heard it before, and it's never good. We've heard it, not the exact words, but the flavor, the fabric of the words, the tune of the words. We've heard it, and it's never good, man. Never good. Woody,
you can't take the spots off the leopard, right? That's it. He is what he is. He is not a guy who has done anything. And I don't care if the guy's even watching, okay? Look, I just looked at it. Chris Johnson, right? He's our age, right? He's like 1959, like that. Woody is like a dozen years older than him. So he's his older brother. He's the big shot. He was the guy in line, right? I knew he was old. I didn't know he was 12. He's the guy who all of these years throughout their life, right, was the guy that was in the pecking order with Johnson and John, but they never did anything. They just inherited money. So that's like the Walton family, all those people. What the heck? They're just rich. They don't do
At
anything.
least when you look, when you look at Chris, here's the thing, and I gotta think you're gonna agree with me. You look at Chris, and you can say, that's a guy we could drop back and have some beers at a bar, right?
Right.
Look at Chris. You get that feeling. You see when he talks to the players and he's around the coaches. Just very real, very sincere.
Like I
Very
said with
focused.
Bob Kraft, you could sit there and talk to the
Right.
guy, and I
Even
know a guy who did that. They're like, "Thank you." He's at a Red
even
Sox
better.
game, and they're like,
Even
"He's just a
right,
guy."
but a very personable guy, a very real guy. You look at Woody, you're like, I don't want him over for dinner. I don't know. There might
You
be,
know, you bring up a great point. I remember when
no,
one year
I
when
don't
they
want
were,
him in my house. Don't want him in my house. It's a little scary looking at him.
I told you I'm
That's
on
how
the
you
West
feel about
Coast.
the guy.
I told you I'm on the West Coast, right? I don't know when it was. It was when um the Charger home opener. God, this is 20 years ago, whatever the heck it was. It was when um they they let's see, Herm Edwards was the coach, you know. So my kids were little, and we had great seats, and I knew a guy. We were behind the Jet bench. So we go there early, and I got this little Jet helmet. I'll show you one day, and you remember in the football. And Herm Edwards signed it, and I, great guy, Herman, great guy. So Woody's right there. Hey, Woody, and I'm calling the guy, and then all the other fans who just were piggybacking because he turns around, right? As I'm yelling, hey, Woody, he turns around and he points and he comes like, I heard you, and he comes walking over to me. And I told him, hey, I've been a fan for, I forgot how many years it was. I think we're gonna do some good things, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, he signs the helmet, stanks looking, not personable, nothing, not talking with the fans, or he just was just, let me go talk to the minions for a split second. Look, we're going to villainize him, and hopefully Aaron Rodgers will get done tomorrow, okay? But I don't care because he has nothing to do with any of this. And if it's all comes out, if it all comes out in the wash, they should have, when Rex was there, with what they had, gone to a Super Bowl. So it's years and years and years, even with him, that all they do is they go backwards. They get to a spot and they go down. They're the best. They're in the best shape now than I can ever remember. Honestly, they have, other than the quarterback, great defensive hope and great skill players on offense. I mean,
This is as good a foundation in 56 years, but we're not changing the 55 part. This is as solid a foundation that I've ever seen with the Jets, because this could be long-term GM, long-term coach, long-term success. That's what's written all over. That's what the possibility is. But I got
it's
to
like
tell you,
Pete Carroll. How long is he in Seattle? It's like that, It's like
well,
you want a guy, and this guy was with him, and we had Pete Carroll even, It's like, Jesus, it's just ridiculous. So
it's just too much. And right now, there's so many good things happening. Still upset about Salah and JD. Like I said, still love them, but still upset about the quarterback situation overall. I guess
listen,
what makes me mad. Well, and what is the podcast 405 where we want to let our fans know who we thought realistically who was going to be over center the first game of the season, and I said Mike White. So maybe I'm angry because of that, but
well,
I'm
I
sorry.
figured it was going to be Hostetler. So
And
listen,
I
we
thought
did
I
this
was never
today.
gonna.
We did this today as to get it out. I know it was very negative, but it's also very truthful because you cannot hear this lingering and then other teams coming in and talking about it and not say anything. It's inexcusable, it's disgusting, and it's just wrong.
Well, what made me snap is two things made me snap. And one was just before I came on here. One thing that made me snap is, like I said, when he said we have a plan. And the second thing that made me snap about it, I never wanted to talk about Zach, but I'm just so fed up with him and done with him and done with all the BS that he buys scooters or whatever the hell. What did he buy? Those things, not the scooters for the offensive linemen. So you're buying some kind of scooter for like 320 pound guys. That's a person who just doesn't get it. But I got mad thinking about him today because when I went to check who's the owner of the Jets, when it shows you the jet describes the team and it shows you the owners, what's the first name it shows? It shows a few players. First name, quarterback, Zach Wilson. That's the first name that shows up on the team. What
Listen,
play? Quarterback, Zach Wilson.
he's
That's
done
why.
some nice stuff with Ukraine. He's trying to do some things with the Jets in the UK and all this nonsense.
Oh,
But he should stay away from the team. Don't sell the team, like you said. Just go away.
just go
Just
away, man.
go in the
Let,
corner and have nothing
let
to do with it, and have a beer with the fans and let your brother do it. His brother's our age. His brother knows, like
just
us.
accept the fact that baby bro, your baby bro, is getting it done, got things going, help build this foundation, and you had nothing to do with it. Just come to grips with that, man. Just come to grips with that. I know it's tough pill to swallow, easy for me to spew out the words, but you know what? It's been too many years. So come to grips, baby bro, getting it done. Let him do his thing and go away.
Maybe he could go be the ambassador somewhere else now. Just get out of here. Right? You know, like, I don't mean of a country. Let him be the ambassador of a made-up country. Go ahead and go play in the corner with the crayons, like you said, and give him a hat. He's the ambassador of, Bourgeoisville, whatever. Just enough. Just I don't care. And I don't care if it sounds disrespectful. We're in our 60s. We've been I don't care. Don't care what it is. We've seen I want to win now, Leon, and this guy now. I want to win now. It's like it's the same thing. It's the same words.
Parcells leave us too quickly. We've seen Vinny
He got out of
Testaverde.
Dodge. He knew it was coming. He
You
knew.
see Vinny Testaverde, who's so big and strong, would never get hurt, and that little ankle bone would just change everything of the Jets' history. Really change everything for the worse.
We hate his guts, Belichick, and all that. But you know what? He knew better. He knew what Bob Kraft was, and he knew what was coming in. That's what I'm saying. You know who can do it, who's been successful and has a vision, and a guy who's just along for the ride. He's like, okay, I don't know, I don't know, and he just walked in. He's just not. He's not a self-made man. He's not.
As we end this podcast, can we say anything nice to our Jets fans to make them feel better? I don't know.
No.
Well, you said it. The bottom line is Woody, no Woody, this, that, the other thing. If Rodgers does sign, and I'll admit it, I wouldn't. If Rodgers signs, I'm not thinking about Woody. I don't care about Woody. I'm not gonna no thoughts about Woody anymore. I still want him to go away, but I'm gonna be just that fan of we got Aaron Rodgers, knowing all the weapons we have on that team, and I'm gonna be excited. So let's hope for the
We want to
best.
see them win despite all this, because this is the best chance we're going to have to see something maybe happen that's at a very high level before we're gone, before we die. It's like at this point, what the heck? It's like
this diatribe go at
you.
you. Young fans out there, you got to understand. Early 60s, man. How much time we think as older guys, like, okay, physically, mentally, like physically, how long can I last? Mentally, how long can I last? Do I want to see the Jets in a Super Bowl when I'm in diapers? No, I want it to happen, sometime soon, please. So
just stay the heck away, go away, and let this play out and finish. And if you want to go get Beckham, I don't care. Odell Beckham Jr., great. Don't care anymore. Just bring the team in that you guys want, get the quarterback, and go to town.
I think
another week or two, fine. But
it's not going to assume, but I'm making an assumption here. But I think, taking a guess, I think Odell's smart. He wants to play for the Jets. He wants to play for Aaron Rodgers. But you know what? He's probably, well, let me see when Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback, because he's not.
Well, that's my whole point. The longer this lingers, the more it smells. And if he were in here already, I said it last time, he'd be talking about, he's going to take Joe Namath's number. Joe Namath will be around. He's part of the family. Every day that he's not here is one day less that he could be a Jet in this little bit of time he has left as a quarterback in the league. So it's like, what are you waiting for? Get him in. So it's like that instead of this. If he's this year and done, We're not even going to get 12 months out of it.
And that's
You know,
more
it's
BS we hear.
11 months.
Well,
Get him.
with Hackett, he can not need to be at OTAs. Come on, man. It's meaningful to be together. It's meaningful
It's
to
not
be
about the
there.
reps. It's about this. It's about
Right.
the chemistry, the heart, the believability that this is going to really happen. It's that extra bounce in your step. It's doing more. It's like the guy's going to zip a ball that is something that a guy like Zach Wilson couldn't dream of, And who's going to be there? Namath. Who's going to be there? Klecko. Who's going to be there? Curtis Martin. Who's going to be there? Darrell Revis. These are your Hall of Famers now. All right? They're going to be around, and they're going to be around Aaron Rodgers because he's going to be a Hall of Famer. They're going to see these young guys, Wilson and Gardner. But all of it, Vinny, this is my whole point. It's in limbo.
Here's
It's
how we're going to end
like
this.
It's like
And
this.
it's right. And here's how I'm going to end this. Okay, we're going to end it like this. And I'm right about this. If he goes somewhere else or he's not a Jets, it tops, take all the worst thing we've experienced as Jets fans over 50, 56 years, right? Take it all, times it by 1,000. That's how bad this thing was. But let me ask you something.
Oh my
Zach
God.
Wilson was gone. And right now, the only quarterback the Jets had was Mike White, and they didn't get Rodgers. You'd be like,
Okay.
Okay.
We'll
Come on,
figure
Mike White, let's get it done. Give the guy a chance, right? Come on. Every Jets fan, don't tell me otherwise. Every Jets fan out there,
No.
hundreds of thousands of them. If you tell me that we don't get Rodgers now, it's the most terrible thing that could have happened for sports fans.
You know what that would be, Vinny?
But
What you just said
Mike
is so
White was there. If Mike White was still there and he was gone, it'd be devastating. But you'd be like, "Man, we got Mike White. Let's see you get it done." Very polarizing.
if this doesn't happen and he's on another team, this
I'm right.
is like taking. Okay, we love the Mets. We know what the score was when that ball was hit and it went through Buckner's legs, and all of the Red Sox fans think, well, oh, you step on the bag. No, it was a tie game. It was going to go to. But you take that moment as a Red Sox fan. You take the moment when you have the Giants win the pennant. You're a Dodger fan. The Giants win the pennant. If you're a Brooklyn Dodger fan and you have this massive lead, and then they come back and they beat you, oh my God, you got to do it. You put all of these failure moments in one little cup, and you swirl it up and throw it away because none of it is anything close to at this point when you had it done with this guy and you lost him. Ridiculous if that happens. So
But like I said, I gotta say it, and there's not one Jets fan that can
and I
tell
don't
me.
even like him really. I don't really care. I just wish
Okay,
we
there's
had.
nothing to do with that.
No. I mean his age. I don't
Right,
like
right,
that. I wish
right.
he was 5 years younger. He's not Tom
Yeah,
Brady.
no, gotcha.
I don't know what he's going to bring. I knew Brady at 40 was still like playing at a ridiculous level, winning Super Bowls. We hope this guy is still at that level and can do it with us. But with Green Bay, he wasn't doing that. But hopefully here he can for a couple of years. But it's all question marks. But again, it's not happening. Get him in. But the problem, the meddler, the guy that opened his mouth, that probably is letting Green Bay think they could get more and more than they should, is Woody. Just go away.
Thank you, and good night.